Okay, so today I'm gonna be going ahead and showing y'all how to use Xargs in a Linux command line environment, right? So what is Xargs and what is it used for? So Xargs is a Linux command line command that can help execute multiple commands at once. So like let's say I do an ls, right? Let's say I do an ls here, right? And let's say, or what's a good example? Let's say I do an let's say I do an ls, right? And if I do xargs with an ls, xargs by itself, when you pipe it, so ls is for list and this is a pipe, so you're piping everything from that command into this command, right? So xargs will take everything that was per line. So if I do it like that, everything is per line, right? And then if I go ahead and issue xargs right here, it's going to separate it by space. So now every space, it just keeps running on. So all this text you see right here, it's actually one line. So it put all the text on one entire line. It might not look like that here because it can't fit on the screen, but this is really just one line. Now, when you do ls, it's per line, right? Now, like, let's say you have a command, like, let's say, try to think of a good example here. If you do xargs and 5, now it's every 5 lines, every 5 spaces per line. So it's gonna have 5. It's gonna have 5 inputs per line. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and it's gonna be like that for all the lines, right? Same thing with xargs 2. Now xargs 1, this is important, right? If you do, what's a good one? Well, I need a good example here. So, okay, for instance, right here, I did an ls here, right? See how everything is, it's not in a line, right? So if you do pipe into xargs, you do n1, now it sorts it per line. Now you're like, okay, big deal, right? So like, let's say anything you put after this command, it's gonna run. So okay, so I think for a little bit. So let's say you're doing an app search for, oh, I don't know, xtg, right? This is a good example, right? xtg. I pretty much got a lot of these installed, but I'm gonna go ahead and show you anyway. So I'm gonna do app search xtg, right? And I'm gonna go ahead and pipe it to rip grep. I'm gonna do an I and an O, and I'm gonna search for this one. Okay, I'm gonna pipe it to this one. I'm gonna search, right? So now it's gonna show these two, right? cxs-dev. That's interesting. It's kind of like, huh? That's not a good example. Let me do xdg utils like that, right? Let me go ahead and give that a try. Okay, like that, right? So we found this many times, right? So like, let's say we want to use xargs, right? But we also need to clean that up. So what we can go ahead and do is do a sort by unique. Now you only got 2, right? Only got 2. And we got an empty line there, so I'm gonna go ahead and do strings. And strings will, well, it should get rid of it. Yeah. Okay. Now, well, something else you can do with xargs, if you're doing this right here, you see, you put it into one line, right? Now, let's say you have a whole bunch of packages you want to install, like a whole bunch. You got a whole bunch of packages, right? And you want to go ahead and install those. So you do xargs n1 apt install, like that. And what that's going to do is it's going to say every line on the results you printed, it's going to do an apt install. So if you have 2 packages, it's going to go apt install the first line, then apt install the second line, then apt install the third line, and so forth and so forth. See? Except they already installed. So that's pretty much a lot of what you can do. Another thing you can do is you do an xargs I, and let's say you want to actually move that per line action. So you'd stick 1 here, and that would just be showing, you know, this box right here is showing, okay, your command is like right, kind of like right there, and then you do it in ls, and then you do it again, like that. And since there's no such file directory, nothing showed up. So you can do it like that too. So this is good, like like sometimes you come across a really long command, and like if you do the apt install like this with Xargs, like N1, it's only going to be doing the outputs at the end of the command, right? So if you're running like a few keywords here and you want to put it somewhere besides the end of the command, you're going to want to use the I here, and you're going to want to use, I forgot what that symbol's called. You're only going to use those little boxes to put where you want to execute that command at. So that's pretty much Xargs. Xargs is really good for cleaning scripts too. Like if you got like setting variables and you get like a lot of times you'll get like a new line where you'll have like the data output in one line and then you'll have a blank line, and Xargs is good at cleaning those out. So if you, it's just good for script cleaning. Whenever you're writing scripts, you just do it in Xargs. You know, clean out. See, like right here, it took color the ASIC coloring and all that, and it's just like basic white now. And it takes out all the extra white spaces. So white spaces and new lines and stuff can mess up your scripts. Strings is good for that. Sometimes it doesn't work, and sometimes it breaks stuff. Xargs is actually best in my opinion, doing like that, or you can clean it and do it per line like that. So it's really good. I like it. Anyway, if you like the video, like and subscribe.